yesterday I did a whole video, 30 minutes long. It was actually longer than that, y'all. Like, I had to cut it down some and spent all my time editing it just for my silly ass to delete it. It's okay, we right back at it. Yes, I'm gonna start off with a shot, okay? I thought I gotta add an element of fun because I like drinking, and you know, once drinks start flowing, storytelling gets easier. I don't know, it gets more fun, you get more animated, and I mean, not that this one little shot's gonna do anything, because your girl is no lightweight over here, okay? Okay, so we're gonna pause that, take a shot with me. Your girl is drinking Crown Apple today, and let's do it. We good. Alright, so the story we're about to talk about today is how not all money is good money, okay? The last time we talked was a couple of weeks ago. And really, it's only been 1 week since my last picture post, but it's been a while since y'all heard me, so we just gonna get right into it. So my last post, I told y'all how basically this story I'm about to tell y'all, I could have gone to jail, okay, with a felony charge. Yeah, it was serious. Living life a little recklessly, you know, and in my eyes, reckless is like just having fun, you know. I was doing the most. I was going to the club like 3-4 times a week. Like, who has time for that? And I had 2 jobs, okay? And of course, I mean, y'all know I have a kid too, so disclaimer, I want to say that my son was always taken care of, okay? He, you know, had a whole schedule, was going to bed at 9 o'clock. Now, whether he was asleep, alright, that's a whole nother story, okay? But he had a whole schedule, you know. I'd read to him, he'd go to bed, and then mom would be out. 9:30, mom was out the door. So, I was having fun. Okay, so I end up, you know, while I'm having fun, you end up meeting this dude through Instagram. Alright, red flag number 1, like, Dama, why you gonna go out with a dude from Instagram? I've always been known to talk to people who know people. Like, I don't just talk to people I just randomly meet. But again, I told you I was living my best life. I was having fun, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna go out the dude. So he has to take me out, you know. He ends up coming to pick me up. At this time, my best friend and I, we would have this rule where, like, if we were going out with these dudes that, you know, we didn't know through people, and we were just meeting up with them, that we had to know where one another was going. So we would take pictures of license plates, you know, let them know, like, hey, I'm doing XYZ, just so, you know, God forbid anything happened, we know something, you know, we know where to start. So anyhow, take a picture of his license plate and send it to my girl. So I get in the car. Now, as I'm getting in the car, this dude been, like, you look at his Instagram, right? You would think he had all the money in the world. You know, he was going out, what seemed like, you know, posting nice dinners, wearing Gucci this, you know, Prada that, whatever. He was basically perpetrating to what it seemed like to me, because when he picked me up in a regular car. Not that he was supposed to be in anything fancy, like I sound bougie as hell, but I'm just saying, like, you showing you got all this money, you picked me up with a car that has a busted door on top of that. Alright, that was a red flag. Like, that's number 2. Like, first of all, I shouldn't never been going out with him through Instagram, but, and number 2, like, alright, you saying you got all this money, but yeah, you picking me up with a car door that's, like, busted, it's broken. So I get in the car, and he's like, automatically, he's like, oh, you know, this is my car, this is my brother's car, my car's in the shop, you know, I wouldn't have picked you up in this, I got XYZ. I forgot what car he's in. I was like, alright, kept it as a mental note. So we just talk and converse about, you know, how the day's been going or whatever. And we've already talked about dinner places. Now, we're talking about going to DC. All right, and I'm sure for those who don't know, I'm from the DMV area, okay? So I lived in Virginia, but where we live in Virginia is like 15 minutes to DC. It's very, very close. So that's where we were supposed to be going. He tells me, he's like, oh, you know, I gotta do a couple of stops. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why did you come pick me up if you gotta make these little errand runs? Like, so, you know, we're driving, and I'm like, all right. I tell him, I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll go pick up whatever it is. I'm cool. So we're driving, and you know, we're just talking, and we pull up to Applebee's. Now this man is walking throughout Applebee's like he owned the place. Like, he talking to everybody. He know everybody. Like, sir, do you work here? Do you work here? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you're a waiter or whatever. But like, be upfront. Do you work here? So we are there for like 2.5 hours, okay? Or maybe 2 hours, all right? 2 hours. 30 minutes of which was probably sitting talking to me, while the other half was walking around talking to everybody else. So I'm like, all right, I mean, I'm ready to go, okay? We came to Applebee's. Like, I could have got Applebee's myself. I'm ready to go. That's just what I'm thinking mentally. So he finally come up, he was like, you know what? I know I've been having you sitting here, you know, we taking forever. Order anything off the menu. Okay, Dama, that's what you get. You was over here trying to get a free meal from this dude, and he completely played you. Like, you getting Applebee's, the same shit you didn't have 3 days ago. So I'm like, all right. And so I was like, no, thank you. You know, I'm good. Like, I'll take a drink though. He was like, all right, I got you. Orders me a drink. Okay. Take the drink. So finally, you know, he was like, so what are you trying to do? Now, this is the summer. This was like the beginning of 2013, the summer of 2013. So I'm like, he picked me up like around 6, so it's only like 8 something now. So I'm like, I mean, I don't know. So he's like, well, my brother's having this house party, you know, you want to come through there, like we can hang out. And I was like, okay, that's fine. All right, cool. So we get into this little hoopty car. Again, I don't care that it was a bucket. But don't come at me saying that you got all of these bands, basically, and anyhow, so we're driving, you know, he's talking, he was like, oh, you know, apologizing for talking to everybody, and how he just, you know, he takes care of his friends, basically trying to insinuate like he the head dude, like everybody come to him for shit, like he it. Okay. So I'm just listening to him, it's going in one ear out the other. We finally pulled up to this house, right? And as he's talking to me on the drive, like, I'm trying to pay attention, because y'all remember, like, he picked me up, so I have no idea where the fuck I'm, like, where we're going or nothing. Gotta watch my language. I don't know where we're going. Like, so we pulling into this neighborhood. It's like wooded, okay? So we get out, walking up the stairs, and the way this house is, it's like the door is here, but I can see like all 3 levels. Like, there's little stairs here to go to like the very top, which I think is like the top of the house. There's right here a level, and then there's 2 more steps. It's like almost another level, but not really. And then there's like more to go to the basement. So I don't know what level I was on, but I was on some level. You know, we got there, said hi to everybody, and I need to use the bathroom. So shows me where the bathroom is, and by that point, I guess while I'm in the bathroom, you know, people are going downstairs to the basement to hang out because that's like where the party area is. And like I said, I don't even know if it was basement, but that's what I'm gonna call it. So we went down to the basement, and you know, everybody's like having fun and chilling, and you know, he's okay. So at this point, I don't even know what he's had because I haven't seen him drink or anything. But at this point, he's seen. By the time I come back downstairs, I only went to the bathroom, y'all. Like that's it. So like what? That's like 3 minutes. He seems fucked up. So who knows what he would have done, or you know, like what he did. But he seemed real loose. So he was like, you know, I want to get to know you more. I want to get to know you more. So I'm like, all right. In my head, I'm already like on alert. Okay, I'm looking like everywhere. Like, all right, if I need to get out or what have you, what are my options? Because like I didn't know these people. Like, and that was my mistake. I should not have done that. Like when I look back at some of the stuff, I'm like, girl, that's some scary shit. Like, all right, but anyway, so he's like, you know, I want to get to know you more. So he brings out that he notices I have a kid. I'm like, yep. He was like, yeah, so how are you and his dad? I'm like, I mean, like, we just don't interact with each other. Like, it's just, we just keep it all separate. You know, I take care of my kid. He's like, oh, he was like, you know, I respect that. I respect single mothers who be doing that thing, who be running it, just popping off. So I'm like, all right, because I feel like that's every dude's main line when you have a kid. Like, oh, I respect you. You doing it. That, like, do I have a choice? No. Yeah, I was just like, no. So he was like, you know what? I want to show you my appreciation. He was like, ask my brother. Like, I be taking care of my head. I be taking care of people. Like, I'm like, okay. And the type of person I am already, especially during that time, I don't take stuff from people. Because number one, I don't want you to come back and say, oh, I helped you. Remember when I did? No, I don't want to leave no room for you to do that or for you to hold it over my head. Like, if I need something, I'm going to get it. If it's going to take me a little while, then it'll take me a little while. But I'm going to get it. So I was like, I'm good. I get it myself. You know, just talking shit. So some time going on, and he asked me again. I'm like, all right, God. Like, I'm only going to turn this down, like, so many times. Because during this point, I had just quit one of my jobs. Like, right before I had met this dude. I had probably been out of work for, like, 3 weeks at that point. I still had my other job, but I was ready to leave that job too. But I had quit my car insurance job because the manager or owner or insurance agent, whatever you want to call him at that time, was a creep. Okay? For lack of better words, he was a creep. Really all with the Me Too stuff, okay? So I knew I could not stay there. Like, I was not comfortable. I mean, he was the only man out of what, three girls all under the age of 25. Like, please. Anywho, that's a whole nother story, okay? That's a whole nother story. But, you know, so I had fallen behind on my car payments to the point where, you know, another payment and my car was getting repossessed. Now, I could not have that on my car, like on my credit. I would always on top of my payments. So like this whole thing, me quitting the job and everything, like it messed everything up. So, and also knowing, you know, my dad was the only one working, I know, you know, like I could tell that my parents wanted me to pay for my own stuff. I mean, I'm in my 20s, I have my own child, like I should be able to take care of my own stuff. So, which I completely understood. So I knew that was going to be an issue for them, to try to keep up with my payments on top of, doing other stuff. So I was like, look, I'm only gonna, deny this money one more time. So some more time passed, and he's like, throw out a number. And at this point, I'm like, you know what?